International Women's Day is about recognizing and empowering women as drivers of change. This year, our theme is Planet 50-50 by 2030. Step it up for gender equality. Around the world and here in Ghana, we're reflecting on how empowering women can build momentum for the Sustainable Development Agenda 2030. This was adopted by UN member states in September 2015 to end poverty in all its forms, to protect the planet, and to ensure access to justice for everyone. It is an ambitious agenda. It's about changing the course of the 21st century. We recognize that we need political commitment and we need your efforts to achieve these goals by ensuring gender equality.
As we celebrate International Women's Day, I just want to take this opportunity to take our minds back to the fact that 1 out of every 5 women live with disabilities, and that there is higher prevalence of disabilities among women than men. Contributing factors vary, and this range from the lower economic status of women and girls to gender-based violence and other factors. I think it is important that we left no one behind in terms of our potentials, each and every one of us to be able to contribute gainfully to growing our economies and making each one of us live a wonderful life.
Humanitarian and development actors and national governments should make every effort to ensure that refugee women and girls are included in the national development plans, because they constitute the majority of refugees all over the world, including here in Ghana. Refugee women have specific challenges. Not only do they take on new roles as breadwinners in most cases, but they're also caregivers, and they lack the community support and traditional justice system that they're used to back home. The SDGs call for equity, universality, and from UNHCR we're saying refugee women and girls should not be left behind.
The issue of out-of-school girls is a global phenomenon. In Ghana, many girls are still out of school, and we see them in the streets engaging in petty trade. Although Ghana has put in place some programs to address this issue, the problem still prevails. As we celebrate the International Women's Day, I urge all stakeholders to ensure that in our quest to implement SDG 5, which seeks to achieve equality of women and girls, no woman and no girl is left behind.
1 in 5 children in Ghana is married before the age of 18, to disastrous consequences, both for themselves and for all of us. Children who are married so early tend to interrupt their education. They suffer from increased health risks, especially when they become pregnant. They tend to suffer from greater risks of being abused by their partners, and it's bad for them and it's bad for society. Marriage in itself is a very good thing, especially among consenting adults. It's good for the individuals, it's good for society. But marriage of children is definitely disastrous. This is a practice that we should all stop. We should all do what we can to make sure that our children actually get to enjoy their childhoods and remain children and get married when they are ready to be married. The SDGs ask us to stop these harmful practices on children. It is International Women's Day. Let's think about all those future women and make sure that they are not left behind.
Women in agriculture play a very important role. The reason why we are promoting an inclusive agricultural growth is not based on humanitarian concern. There are available evidences indicating that women do better than men in terms of productivity, in terms of nutrition, in terms of health impacts on their children, if they have equitable access to important resources such as land.
In Ghana, we have an 80% informal economy, and women form the bulk of this economy. Women are marginalized, mostly in this sector. They are of low education, and they find it very difficult to keep jobs. Coupled with that is also the lack of maternity protection. Women in this sector have to take time off to have their own babies, have to take time off to take care of these babies, because the work and childbirth continuum is not well regulated. Women in this sector also do not have access to cash. And for us to have economic growth and decent work, it is important to reduce the vulnerabilities of these women through better education, through better opportunities at work, including maternity protection, where they can exercise their reproductive rights as well as work.
The primary policy of the SDGs is leaving no one behind. And UNAIDS is trying to address this by focusing on women who are HIV positive. Pregnant women go to facilities and get tested. Before, it was based on eligibility criteria, where we were only covering a certain number of women. But now our new policy is to cover all and to test all and treat as they come. This, we expect, will reduce the incidence levels of newborn babies to a point where we have no child being born with HIV in the near future.
Currently, there are thousands of young migrants, known as the Kayais, living in the streets of Accra and other big cities in Ghana. These girls have left their loved ones and everything that they know to migrate to the cities in search of better life and better opportunities. Unfortunately, for many of them, what they find is indifference, abuse, and exploitation. But just like you and me, they deserve a life free of violence, of hunger, and of inequalities. They have a right to education, to good health, and to opportunities. So for International Women's Day, let us recommit. The promise of the SDGs was also made to the Kayais, so let us not forget that, and let us not leave anyone behind.
One of the smartest investments that a country like Ghana can make in order to fast-track its development is in young people. And within the category that we're referring to as young people, the smartest investment to make is in the adolescent girl. Because when you get the adolescent girl educated, have her stay healthy, have her acquire skills with which she can earn income, you definitely transfer the advantages to the next generation. Because she will then ensure that when she becomes a mother and raises kids, she will ensure that they have education, they have skills, they are healthy, and therefore, as we say, $1 that you put in the adolescent girl yields for you 3 times, sometimes 10 times the dollar that you put in the adolescent boy, simply because of the strategic role that girls and women play in our society.
We can achieve zero hunger in Ghana by ensuring that malnourished women living in food insecure zones have access to adequate nutrition all year round. Good nutrition is of critical importance, particularly in the first 1,000 days between pregnancy and the child's second birthday, to ensure optimal growth and development. Our call to action on this International Women's Day to all our partners is to help us achieve these goals for ensuring that women actually have access to achieving zero hunger by ensuring that they're not the ones that eat last, that they have access to education, access to land and other agricultural imports so that they can achieve zero hunger by 2030, and Ghana will be on track to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals.
To achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, we really do have to step it up for gender equality. And I'm proud that the United Nations in Ghana is working with so many ministries and civil society organizations to do just that.